Become a relevant youth. BARY.
Hello, everyone. I welcome you to another wonderful episode of BARY with Femi. This is the 9th episode, and it's a privilege to have you with me today again. My name is Femi Ikotun, and BARY stands for Become a Relevant Youth. Our vision is to inspire young people to discover their true purposes on time so as to become relevant agents of change in the world for God's glory.
Become a relevant youth. BARY.
Welcome back. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you again to this wonderful episode. And thank you for staying with me from the first episode to this very moment. And it's a great privilege on my side to be a blessing to you as much as I can. We've been talking a lot about purpose and why young people need to connect to God and connect to their purposes on time. Now, today we will begin by talking about my third relevant book series, which is Why You Must Pursue Relevance Now. Why You Must Pursue Relevance Now. This is the third volume of my relevant book series, and it's got a lot of topics and titles that are so crucial to young people, which further emphasizes the needfulness and urgent need why young people must connect to purpose on time. This is basically to drive into young people that passion, that desire to seek knowledge in relation to purpose, to seek knowledge in relation to how to become successful and relevant in life. And so today we'll be talking about the enlistment season for relevance. The enlistment season for relevance. Now, the truth of the matter is that there is indeed an enlistment season. The youthful season is an enlistment season. And once a person misses their enlistment season, they may never find an opportunity to be enlisted again. This is because an enlistment season that is lost may never be regained. I mean, in the game of football, there is always a season of one's life that you have to get enrolled into an academy, into a football club. You just don't decide when to join a football club. You just don't decide when to get enrolled into school. There is a season, there is an age bracket where you must be enrolled into a nursery school, into a primary school, into a secondary school, and on like that. In the game of football, I mean, there are seasons, there are ages that you must get enrolled. If you pass such ages, you may never be enrolled again. Most of the sportmen that we see, that we celebrate today, who are celebrities today, began their journey in the field of sport from the ages of 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But you cannot be 50 years of age, 60 years of age, and expect to be enrolled and say, oh, your dream or your vision in life is to be the world's footballer of the year. And so you go to Barcelona, you go to PSG to go and enroll to be a footballer. Nobody will accept you into such clubs because the enlistment season is over. I mean, such clubs or in such profession, in such areas, there is an early age at which you are expected to have been enlisted. I mean, for you to have a career in such an area. And so also in various aspects of life, there is a season where you should have discovered your purpose in life, understand it, and start pursuing it. And that's what I will be dealing with this all for the next couple of episodes, talking about the importance of your enlistment season. And that enlistment season is your youthful season. Is your youthful season. Because what we do as young people is a seed for our future. What you do as a teenager, what you achieve, whatever you become, whatever you do and achieve as a young person, as a teenager, in your 20s, they become a seed that will germinate and become harvest in your future. So how well you build your youthful season will obviously determine your future. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1 to 2. The Bible says that to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck what is planted. There is a time for everything. There is a time to start. There is a time to sleep. There is a time to wake. There is a time to walk. There is a time to rest. So once its planting season is past, of course, that affects the harvest season. If you don't plant when you should plant, you will not be able to harvest when you should harvest. That is the law of life. That is the principle of life. If you don't plant at the right time, you will not be able to harvest when it's time to harvest. That is the essence of your enlistment season. If you refuse to get enlisted at the right time, you may not achieve what you have been destined to achieve when you should achieve it, because of the fact that you missed your enlistment season. And I repeat again that your enlistment season is your youthful season. Your teenage years and your 20s, this period of your life is your enlistment season, because they become a seed for your future. And you must understand this, that whatsoever you do, whatsoever you become, whatsoever you are able to achieve for yourself in this season will go a long way to determine what you will become in life. Do you even know that Bill Gates, for example, connected to that interest of his in computer? He connected and discovered a passion of his for computer at the age of 13 years. And at the age of 20 years, he established Microsoft with his partner Paul Allen. At the age of 31 years, Bill Gates became a millionaire. At the age of 32 years, Bill Gates became a billionaire. At the age of 40 years, he became the richest man in the world. Now, that is not an accident. He becoming the richest man in the world at the age of 40 was an outcome of his early discovery or connection at the age of 13. If he had discovered or connected to that passion later than he did, of course, he becoming the richest man would have further been delayed into the future. Imagine if he was just setting up Microsoft at the age of 30 years of age. Of course, at the age of 30 years of age, he became a millionaire at 31. If it took him 13 to 31, it took him 18 years. If it took Bill Gates 18 years to become a millionaire, after connecting to that passion of his, then you cannot say therefore that it will take him 1 year to become a millionaire if he discovered it at the age of 30, because that achievement would have been further delayed into the future. Why? Because an enlistment season, a season, has been missed. The point I'm making here is that the earlier you discover your purpose, the perfect the time would be to achieve it as ordained by God. But the later you discover it, the later also the achievement and manifestation will be. Are you get what I'm saying? That is even if you ever become what you are born to become. If you started late, farther than the enlistment season. And the reason I'm saying this is because there are two basic factors that will determine how far you go. Number one of such factors is time, sufficient time. The second factor is strength. Now let's go to the first in Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. There is a time for everything. There is always the right time to get things done. And for every young person, the right time for you is your youthful season. Is this season of your teenage years, the season of your 20s, are your youthful season. Because you have all the time to yourself. You have all the time. You have full control of your time. No child is seeking for your attention. No spouse is demanding your attention. You don't have to go to work to earn money to feed anybody. You don't have a family that is clamoring for your time and attention. You don't have to go make money. You don't have to go out and work and spend time to earn money. You have time to yourself as a young person. You have all the time to yourself as a young person to invest in that gift of yours. That is why the early discovery is crucial and important because of time. What you have time to do as a young person, you will never have the time to do when you grow older. That's the fact. It's better to start early. And when you grow older, you can still manage yourself and do things that you used to do before than not to have done anything before and to start in old age, because there are many things competing for your time as an older person compared to when you are younger. And that is wisdom. That is wisdom. For example, you as a woman, maybe as a woman you have this dream of owning your own business, of owning your own practice, or starting a business, or doing something, or going into music, or you want to be a musician, you want to be an actor. The earlier you start, the better, because by the time you get married and you start having babies, you won't have time for that. You won't have the time for your dream when you're pregnant. You're having morning sickness. You're trying to push the baby out. You won't be thinking of any music album. You get what I'm saying? You have babies running up and down, crying here and there. You're changing nappies. You don't have. You will not think of purpose in that. That is another assignment on its own. So the earlier you start, the better, because of time. What you have the time to do as a young person, you will never have the time to do as an older person. Number 2 is strength. The Bible says that the glory of young men is in their strength. What you have the strength to do as a young person, you don't have the strength to do as an older person. For example, in the game of sport, is it boxing, is it wrestling, is it football, is it track and field, whatever kind of sport you do, at the age of 50, you cannot be boxing at the age of 50. Neither can you be running 100 meters at the age of 50. You cannot make any impact. As an active footballer, the best you can do is to become a coach. You get what I'm saying? So the strength of the young people is so crucial. And the earlier you start putting your strength to proper and positive use as early as possible, the better it is for you, because it becomes a seed for your future. So we talk about a time. We talk about strength. What you have time to do now, you will never have time to do in the future. That's the point. That's why you have to maximize your singleness, your singlehood, your single season. You have to maximize that youthful season and do the best you can to lay a strong foundation for yourself as a young person. You get what I'm saying? Your enlistment season is now. If you miss it, if you lose that season and you allow it to pass you by, you may never regain it again. And remember that if you miss a planting season, you have automatically missed the harvest season. And that's why many people are frustrated today. Many people who are grown up, they are old, they have a dream in their heart. They have the vision, but they don't know how to go about it. For example, I started writing my books, doing youth programs as a single person, as a single man, as a young man with no responsibilities. But now I've got children, I've got a wife. And the reason I'm even able to do this is because I've done something in the past. I wrote this book before I got married. This episode I'm doing, BARY with Femi, is a seed for the future. It's a seed for my next level. So whatever you do as a young person is a seed for your next level, for your future. And that's why you must take it so seriously. As a young person, there is an enlistment season. And that enlistment season is now. For you to discover and connect to the purpose for which you have been created. Do all you can not to miss the season, because that's all you got. Missing an enlistment season will result in missing your manifestation season. You must not clock 30 without knowing your purpose in life. You mustn't even get married without discovering yourself. Because if you don't know what your purpose is, how will you know who should help you achieve it? If you as a woman, if you don't know what your gifts are, what your purpose is, how would you know who you have been created to be an helpmate to? Purpose precedes marriage. It precedes marriage. You should know your calling as a single person before you get into it. As a man, how do you know who should be your helpmate? When you don't even know what your own purpose is, what your assignment is, how do you now know who should be the one to help you achieve it? That's why many are miserable in marriage, because they lack the understanding of purpose before they got into it.
Become a relevant youth. BARY.
I want to thank you for listening to me today. I really admonish you to kindly share this message with every young person that you know. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get notification whenever we upload a new video. Please and please kindly send me your questions and your comments. I will be happy to answer them. I really appreciate you, and I thank you for listening again today. And I believe that you've been inspired. I know you've learned one thing or the other. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Kindly share this message with every young person that you know and you care about. And see you next week. God bless you and bye-bye.
Become a relevant youth. BARY.